have found the Genesis frequency. This is Dr. Stephen J. Kazmina welcoming you in to another episode of a show that focuses on your whole life prosperity and success. Whole life prosperity and success by cooperating with the universal laws that are available to each and every one of us. This is Quantum Leap Goal Achievement, radical personal transformation, whole life prosperity and success. Now, stay tuned for another exciting episode that'll move the needle in your life from where you are now to where you want to be.
And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day it may be, wherever you are in the world. When you hit that play button, so glad you did. This is Dr. Cause and Effect, Dr. Stephen J. Kazmina. And I do need to update that intro. I know it. This show has evolved. It is indeed about whole life prosperity, and it is indeed about success. It's about personal, professional, and leadership development. And what are some of the things we can all learn and learn from each other? And what is the wisdom gained along my way that I can share that can help us make those quantum leaps in our lives? We all want to move from where we are into that greater good, into that something more, that expanded version of ourselves that realizes our personal and professional desires and dreams. So I hope you're thinking big. I hope you're dreaming big because our potential is truly infinite. And that's what I share a lot of on this show is material and wisdom that come from the laws of infinite potential. And we recently went through the SMART goals, talking about whether they're smart or how they can be not so smart when they do, in fact, limit us. And there's a lot of material out there talking about SMART goals in a very limiting way from my perspective and my humble opinion. And then we moved into the last week about how do we format, how do we move that big dream into bite-sized pieces and apply it to our goal planning system. And don't forget that goal planning system, that GPS system, that sheet is available to you as one of my listeners. Just reach out to me and I will get it to you as a fillable form field PDF. So you can start using that. I suggest you use it every day. Probably want to go a step further and reach out to me and pick up a My Time Success Planner. Continue to use your online calendar if you're so inclined, but the world is going back to the paper planners with the realization that the more senses that we can involve as we move in the direction of our hopes, wishes, dreams, desires, goals, personal and professional, when we involve more of the senses, meaning when we write it down, when we speak it, when we see it, when we visualize it, when we can hear it, right? When we can involve a fragrance around it, we're making a deeper, more lasting impression on our subconscious mind. We're assuming the state of the dream realized. So, what I wanted to get into today is three questions I want to share with you. So, hopefully, you're using this GPS system that I went through in the last episode. Go ahead and go back and listen to it. It talks about taking the sheet and using it for what is our bite sized piece of our big dream goal that we're going to work on by the end of this week. So I like to use it for 7 day goals or 5 day goals, however you want to look at it. And we move through each section of the sheet and how it's best utilized to support what we want to accomplish and achieve over the next 7 days. And to utilize this ideally, it is a small piece that moves us closer to the big picture, to the big dream. So, yeah, the big dream that you want to accomplish, say, by the end of the year. You're breaking it down, right? I want to do this by the end of the year. Okay, I don't know how. That's okay. You don't need to know how. How is none of your business. But you do know some things. You do know that you have to take action. You do know that you have to take a step in the direction. You can spend some time in the silence or some quiet time at the beginning of your day and ask the question, what is it that I could do today? And if I did do, knowing I should do it, it would move me close. So it should, would move me closer to my dream. And you wait for the inspiration to drop in, and it will. It is unfailing and all providing. So that's why we don't have to know the how, because we're tapping into this infinite wisdom, this infinite potential, this source, this infinite intelligence that we all have access to. So it's great to use this form. My whole point here today on this episode, it's great to use the form, and we can have this right in front of us throughout our week. And even if you don't use the form, even if you have, like I used to do, and it's very ineffective and it's very inefficient, and a lot of people still do it. They just have a legal pad and they have a list of to do things on that legal pad and they cross them off as they get them done. Very inefficient, but if that works for you, well, okay, good for you. But I tell you what, we all tend to go to the easiest thing on the list, and perhaps we don't always go to a prioritized list. So that's another episode for another day. How do we take this GPS system if we've done all the work and done all the planning, like I recommended, doing it at the beginning of the week, filling out the goal planning system, filling in all the details, your affirmation, your visualization tools, where you're going to post this up in your home or your office. What about getting into our day now? We have this tool, we're looking at it, and we have the goal that we want to accomplish this week. What about actually taking the action? And I'm bringing this up because here again is where a lot of people fail. They look at it, they're feeling good, feeling really good. Man, I got this tool, this great tool. I know what I want. I identified my big dream goal. I got this really great goal planning system, this fillable field PDF I got from the Genesis frequency and Success Ocean International, filled it all out. All right. Well, bottom line is we're creatures of habit, right? We have habits of thought, habits of words, habits of actions. And just go to my website and type in paradigms and listen to all the website, not all the websites, listen to all the shows about paradigms. Plenty of material that I have generated around paradigms and habitual thoughts and habitual behaviors. And that's what I'm talking about here. I'm going to give you three questions that you can ask yourself so you can stay on track because that's what it's all about. We can do the work and do the outline for the week, but it actually comes down to keeping our thoughts, our words, and actions in alignment, and we have to take those actions. So, number one, you want to ask yourself, because this is really breaking your goal planning system down from the weekly goal into the day. So, you want to do this at the beginning of every day. All right, I want to knock this goal out by the end of this week. So, to do that, what do I need to do today? So, first question is, what are the things I need to stop doing? What are the things I need to stop doing? I talk about this a lot when I do a show of identifying productive and non-productive activity. But again, you came this far, you got your SMART goals, chunk down version of your big dream goal. What do I have to stop doing? So when you're up close and personal with it, like you are when you start your day, you can recognize, the first habit I usually get into is I start scrolling on my smartphone or I start checking emails and it takes me down a rabbit hole. Before I know it, I'm reading some interesting article about something that has absolutely nothing to do with my goal achievement or what I want to get done today. So ask yourself these questions every single day. It's going to help you. I've gone in depth about overcoming the paradigms and the bad habits and the habits that are not effective and supportive. But this is a way to really keep it front and center every single day so you can get a handle on those non productive habits. What are the things I need to stop doing and stop doing today? So you're right in your own face. All right. I looked at yesterday, man. I spent too much time scrolling. I spent too much time surfing the web, if that's still a term. I don't know. But I did those things. I am not doing those today. I've identified that. So take a look at that. Take a look up close and personal, or what are your most recent habits that you have gotten into? And just be honest with yourself. What are the things I need to stop doing? And then the next question you want to ask yourself right after that, you've done your weekly goal, right? So your next question is, what are the things I need to start doing? So this goes back to all the episodes I've done on paradigms and replacement and pulling weeds and planting flowers, whatever you want to call it, identifying the habit, then taking its power away and replacing it with a new one. This is a very simple way to do all that. What are the things I need to stop doing? What are the things I need to start doing? Get up right in your face, right? What is the new habit I want to form today? All right. First thing is, I'm going to do this every day. I'm going to spend like my planner. It's right in my book. I have prayer time, meditation time. I have review the plan, look at the goals, do it again. I'm in a different place in consciousness this morning than I am the previous morning or the next day. And we have rises and falls of emotion and different states of mind and all that stuff enter into it. But this way, with these questions, we're keeping it front and center. We're holding ourselves accountable in the way. Okay, I need to stop doing this and I need to start doing this. So it's stop and start, right? I'm going to knock out this fifth of this goal or a quarter of this goal, whatever it is today, by stopping this and starting this. Right in your face every single day. Ask yourself these questions. And maybe you're going to get on track, real quick, and you can maybe not utilize these down the road. But this is going to be very, very helpful if you have wandered away a little bit, if you're just getting back in the groove of accomplishment. And then the third question is, what are the things I need to focus on with intensity? What are the things I need to focus on with intensity? So here's where we move away from that legal pad to-do list that we used to carry around, or maybe you're still carrying around, where we're just scratch, oh, I'll do that one. I can get that done in 5 minutes and I'll feel good because I scratched another one off. That's great. You got something done. Kudos. But what are the things on that list? This is where we get into the prioritizing of what needs to be done. What do I got? I got to get this done. I'm moving this to the top of the list. So if you are using the My Time Success Planner, that's how I train you to use it. We're looking at our tasks for today and we're prioritizing each one. So it's not all about just, hey, I got a ton of things scratched off my to-do list. Well, that's great. But do they matter? Are they contributing to what you want to get done by the end of the week? Everything on that to-do list has a different level of priority. So most people don't take it this far. And that's where you'll find a lot of people, man, I was busy all day. Felt like a good day. I was busy, got them things knocked out off the to-do list. Yeah, but was it the most important things? So look at the activities you've identified that are supportive of what you want to achieve and identify the ones that you really, really need to focus on with intensity. Now, I talk often about our mental faculties, and this is where the power of the will comes in. All right, I got to focus on this one. If I want to be this step closer to my big dream goal, and I'm going to knock out this 7 day goal today, this morning, this hour, all my focus, all my intensity, the power of my will has to be really, really strong. I'm not going to let any distractions pull me away from this thing that I have identified as my priority that I need to focus on with intensity. See, it's the power of the will at work, and we can develop. A lot of people don't realize we can strengthen that power of will. And will is a power. It's really a superpower because it's a mental faculty, it's a spiritual faculty, and we can tap into that power of will and use it to our advantage to help move us along as we knock out these goals that bring us into the realization of, I like to say, our pot of gold somewhere over the rainbow, right? What we want to get done personally and professionally. So use these three questions and make sure that you do it every single day. That's the key. And make sure you put one more in at the end of the day, just as a review. Did I do it? Did I stop doing the things I needed to stop doing? Do an evaluation. Now, this isn't to wake up that critical part of your mind that's just, oh, just so hard on you. Because sometimes when we're in this business of goal achievement, we're our own worst critics. This is just a simple review at the end of the day. Did I stop doing what I said I was going to stop doing? Did I start doing the things I needed to start doing today? How was my day? And did I focus with intensity on that thing I really needed to focus on? And just be honest, maybe make some notes, maybe journal about it. It's up to you. But you're going to look at that the next day and you're going to say, okay, I need to improve, not to be critical. This isn't about beating yourself up. This is, okay, I identified this yesterday. I did pretty good. I did pretty good. I feel good about that. I always put in my planner, I put do better, feel better. Because I think we all like getting to the end of our day, looking back, especially if you do this little review. It's like, yeah, man, I prioritized my list and I got the top three priorities done today, or I made a lot of progress on the project that I prioritized, whatever it is, do better, feel better. And then remember, I said we're in a different state of mind. We're in a different place in consciousness every day. When you can look at that at the end of the day, answer those questions again, and then look at, just write that down. Do better, feel better. Did I do better? Do I feel better? When you can look at that and you get up and start your next day, I really like the way I felt last night. Nothing was hanging. That's why we use the written planner because everything is in it. We're not taking anything to bed with us, and we're not taking any unfinished business to bed with us. We sleep good, we do better, we feel better, and feeling good is the key to moving along and to building momentum. And that's what we want. We want to build momentum in the direction of all we want to achieve personally and professionally and developing ourselves as leaders. So let's talk more about this. Hey, this is the work that I do. I am a proud franchisee for a year now of Leadership Management International. My company is Success Ocean International. I've had that for over a decade now, helping individuals, entrepreneurs, small business owners, corporate teams at every level accomplish their goals, their dreams, their desires, their ambitions, whatever you want to call it. I'd love to have a conversation with you wherever you are on this journey in your life. Let's talk. Let's just have a conversation. Perhaps you're a decision maker in your corporate environment. We can have a conversation about, hey, what's showing up? What do we have to get better at? I have a proven system for increasing productivity, performance, profitability, and I get results. 65 years in business, LMI, next year. Why do we get results? Why are we the number one training and development franchise in the world? Well, because we get results because we affect the individual at the level of behavior. And we do that in a very unique way that no other training program does. So we want to talk about that. Maybe it's you as an individual or a small business. Let's have a conversation. Let's look at where you are. Since we're creatures of habits, chances are maybe you want something different, but chances are you're in the same place that you've been year after year. You have to change at the level of behavior. We can talk about that. So we'll talk about what you want, we'll talk about what's stopping you, and we'll get you a plan to move in the direction of all you want to achieve in your life. So that's going to do it for today. I hope this helped. Remember the three questions. What are the things I need to stop doing? What are the things I need to start doing? And what are the things I need to focus on with intensity? Great, great, great stuff. Great tools to work with day in and day out. Reach out, successappointment.com gets you my calendar, successappointment.com, all one word. It'll show up in your time zone. It's not a sales page. Just make an appointment. Let's have a conversation. The website for the show is thegenesisfrequency.com. The business website is successocean.com or lmi-usa.com. Plenty of ways to find me. Reach out and let's have a conversation. For now, you've been listening to the Genesis Frequency Podcast with Dr. Cause and Effect, Dr. Stephen J. Kosmina, signing off and wishing you an infinitely spectacular day. God bless you.